Welcome to our latest Influencers in Hospitality interview, a video Q&A where we ask the influential leaders in our industry to share the strategies and insights that have made them so successful.
Hello there, Dr. Issac. Thank you for joining me on Influencers in Hospitality. How are you?
Very well, very well. Thank you, Roger. It's great to see you again.
Yes, it is. It wasn't so long back when I was one of your patients, so to speak, at your iconic retreat and destination in Bangalore. But yeah, great to see you. That's where you're joining me from now, in Bangalore?
Yes, that's right. That's right.
Super, super. You are the chairman of Sukhya, which, for the audience that are not familiar with Sukhya, was one of the world's first integrative health destinations. You have authored multiple books. You are the health consultant to the British royal family and have been for more than 15 years. And you've helped thousands of patients heal and improve from life-changing illnesses. So I'm intrigued to understand that as an international authority and influencer on well-being, what should society stop or start doing to improve health and longevity?
35 years ago, when I started my medical practice, it was mainly dealing with a medical condition. But my training and time in London and my association with the holistic medicine shifted that to from just treating only complex medical conditions into how to improve health and well-being. So my focus turned to now maybe 50% to improve somebody's health and well-being. And also other 50% if they are sick or complex medical condition, treat that. So that idea that a holistic integrative medical center we started, or a health center, I don't want to call it medical because it's a health center. So I would focus always to my guests or patients that health to us be generated by your own practices by proper eating habits. I see around the world people coming over. The main reason for the conditions are starting from the stress to eating habits or lack of sleep, and their own overdoing their life with the unnecessary, unwanted life requirements which they created. So first of all, giving a reflection on what they need to change. Understand the present state. If anybody above 50 years old, we can find out so much things going not right about them. And they have their own ideas about food and diet and nutrition and exercise and everything. So somebody is willing to correct their day-to-day life, change their exercise pattern or improve their exercise patterns, and do some yoga, meditation, or mindful practices. Mindfulness is very, very effective. And also, you don't need to go to a medical center, but you can do a lot of health and wellness practices either in a beach resort or in a hill station or in a proper spa or anywhere. But then the focus should be that. So I encourage people to make it wellness is a day-to-day affair rather than once a year or twice a year, go somewhere and spend some time and going back to the square one. So that would be my approach to people and advice to the people.
But it sounds so simple as an introduction, change your habits, change your lifestyle patterns. Why is it so difficult for people to make those changes?
Like that New Year, everyone put a good resolution. Then within a month, 90% of the people get out of the resolution because they are not trained to do that. So what I feel is people start to do something good for them if they experience that goodness in them, not for 1 or 2 days. So when you train them, that's why the fitness trainer and the yoga trainer come to you twice a week and then continuously do it. After 2 months, you will take it as part of your life. Then you experience that benefit of it, you'll do it. So any such practices, other than therapy, even a treatment on you, you do it on a regular basis, your system start to experience the benefit of it, then you want to be a part of that, make it as a part of life. And I know when I advise people, even in the heart of London, they said, no, with the chaos, what can you do? I said, you look around, you can see beautiful gardens in this middle of London. You can go in, sit there, do a 7 minutes or 10 minutes meditation. It will have its own enhancing power and have a positive effect in your day-to-day life. So what you do? So give them direction. That's a help. That's a use of it. That's a advice from a good health consultant to do that. So when they get into their habit, then it's easy to practice.
There's never really been a time in history when health and well-being has been such a focal point. And particularly when you consider that there's more science and technological resources at all of our disposal for helping us get healthier and prevent illness. And yet, what struck me about my own visit to Sukhya earlier this year was the combination of authentic healing practices, and forgive me if I'm understating this, it was the simplistic nature of the retreat, which was overwhelmingly powerful, that you didn't really need any of the modern world well-being practices as part of the healing program offered. So hopefully I haven't underplayed that. I'm trying to capture that it was authentic, yet simplistic, but overwhelmingly powerful. And I wanted to get your view on the ancient versus the modern healing practices, particularly in a world where we have now many health and spa destinations. What is your view on ancient versus modern?
Okay, modern is also very effective and very much needed. Whether you do have medical investigations or health investigations are very, very useful and powerful, and that's all very much required. But I believe that a human being, we are evolving not on 60 years or 100 years, it's evolving millions of years. Connecting with the nature is one of the biggest sources of healing or wellness. So when you give a healing sanctuary with everything to do with the nature, whether all your 5 senses are influenced by the colors and sound and taste and the smell, that naturally happen, that would be the most effective healing tool. So from the very beginning, I believed in that. So I created a 30-acre organic farm where we planted 4,000 trees to flowering trees to aromatic trees to medicinal, thousands of medicinal plants, everything. It has its own energy, I believe, that will affect you being a human being. And when you move around to that space, and I believe that when you do something authentic, without any dilution or without any spice on it, then it has its own deeper effect. And my job is to make the people to reflect on their life. When they start to reflect on their life and connect with the nature, half the healing happens. So the treatments or Ayurvedic, naturopathic, or yogic treatments are only an add-on benefit, unless it's a medical condition, is very, very important. Otherwise, but in ancient India, ancient knowledge of thousands of years of using the Ayurvedic principle in the right way, that's what makes me feel that some of the places they do it in the wrong way. But do it in the right way. It's not a rocket science. It's not a difficult task to do. When you do right way, we'll see amazing results coming out of it. Amazing results. And my next book is going to be on that miracle healing, or what is the magic of the miracle healing. So, which I see everyday basis. So I learned a lot from the modern spa world, from Canyon Ranch to all the places around the world before I started Sukhya. My learning is, yes, that's all very good. Fitness is very important. A lot of treatments and technological medicine is also very important. But along with that one, you touch the person's inner core and there understand the person, a human being, and help them to heal or help them to improve their health. And not from a guilt perspective that if I won't do it, I'll get a disease or something, rather than a healthy, happy perspective that it will make my life more worth, more meaningful and happiness. and this is work for me to do this. That will make a big difference. So I understand. I actually learn everything from my guest or patients. So they taught me the best tools they need. So when you use it, it will have positive effect. So I am fully for the modern, westernized spa and new ideas in the spa world. That is also needed for a large number of people. But I feel that long-lasting effect with any treatments or anything should happen from the deep core. So that required I would say that a lot of Eastern philosophy, from mindfulness to yoga to Ayurveda and methodology of treatment, if you do properly. The same thing, if you do very superficially, it will have a negative effect. So somewhere I see that also happening. So we need a proper balance in both sides. The technological understanding to the ancient understanding come together. In a way, I say that it is East and West come together for a healing experience or a wellness experience.
Okay, on the topic of modern, in the coming years, what do you foresee changing in health and well-being? What do you think is on the horizon from an industry perspective for treating health and well-being?
Yes, that's a very good point. Even the most advanced medical institutions like Harvard Medical School or Johns Hopkins or any top institutions around the world, yes, they are very good at treating medical disease conditions, but they are all now again more and more focusing on health improvement, wellness, prevention. So I would see a big scope in the wellness industry. Even the hospitality industry, you know that a lot of hotels are incorporating many more things to improve your health and well-being, whether the diet to the calories to your facilities available, everything. And especially when you look at the wellness industry, I would say that more and more focus on true prevention, truly transforming people's health on a long-term basis. There's a big difference between somebody stay for a short period of time, get good feeling from that week or 2 weeks, then after that again score one. You should create an environment for them, train them for a long-term basis how to improve their health and well-being and an impact on them. So nowadays, even scientific studies which we are doing to measuring the anti-aging effect even to the level of DNA, and that is possible to study. So the ancient methodology is used, whether it's yoga, there are thousands of studies are giving information about the benefit of yoga. Like that, the other methodology of treatments, when you execute in a spa or in a retreat or in a medical institution, it should have that long-lasting effect, in my opinion. It will be anti-aging, it will be stress-releasing, it will be the body systems are performing differently, which is measurable. So when you do that, that will be the futuristic way of going from just a feeling good to just a feeling well-being to a long-lasting, deeper effect and transforming their performances of the system and the mind and the body and the spirit. So that is possible. And I can see that trend slowly happening. You know better around the world what's happening. A trend is that way. Even the top hotels are giving mindfulness program more than even a retreat or a wellness spa. So even the mainstream hospitality is doing that. That means that's become a trend. So that trend is a very positive and very good.
You've spoken a little bit about the trends in hotels and in wider hospitality. So where do you believe that we can find additional or hidden value within the health and hospitality industry?
Again, I would say that even rather than just a spa in a hospitality, they can give that experience to change, even a short period of time they are staying, or if somebody's coming and checking in for a week for bigger conferences and everything, they have a time in the morning or evening to go through some sort of a wellness experience, not only by treatment, by practices which they can take it back home. Anything like that will be a good trend, in my opinion, in the hospitality world. And in the wellness world, more and more, doing equipment based. There's enough and more equipments are going to come out and more practices. That's all very good. Even a professionally oriented help, even a simple thing like a physiotherapist who is a properly trained person, even just look at the person's posture and correct the posture. Teach some exercise, a very simple thing. Teach some exercises which is a professionally done rather than a therapist is doing. Is the therapist is not qualified to do that. So I would say that a qualified person with experience to teach people what to do, how to do, even for one session, we can change that and make them to undergo that correction. Because 99% of the people I meet, they all have problem with the neck. Because of our today's life with the computers and phones and all the lifestyle. So even if you do few maybe yogic exercise or correction of the neck and then do that, make a huge impact on the sleep, to their concentration, memory, their performance, everything. So that's a huge impact on by 1 or 2 days of training. So physiotherapists and such healthcare practitioners or healthcare subdivisions, not necessarily always doctors, are not the right people to give health advice because they don't know much. They know about disease, but they never learn about health. You know that. Mm-hmm. So more than doctors, the other paramedical and other people can help. And also nowadays around the world, acupuncture and other methodology of treatments are utilized one way or the other in a proper way. That's a big difference. When you use a proper way in our wellness world or a spa world, it should be an authentic and the experienced and right person, because then only there will be long-lasting result. Because a guest will never know what is a real qualification or the knowledge of the person who is providing that service. But that is a responsibility of the owners, if you are honest and straight and good, even if it's expensive, to get the right qualified and experienced people to do that treatment. That will make a huge difference, which is my personal experience going and experiencing in different parts of the world. That and somebody who's conscious can easily understand the difference. So I have learned a lot from traveling around the world, going and experiencing different places and see what exactly happening and what is the benefit, as well as what is the not the right thing they are doing too.
Mm-hmm. Moving and shifting gears from industry views, I'd like to bring the conversation to more about your success and what have been key to achieving the success that you've achieved, which is incredible, of the amount of influence that you're having globally on making and helping patients heal from incurable ailments. And so it's going back to, the mentors in your life and, where you began. So what has been the best piece of advice that you have ever received?
My best advice I received when I was about 13 years old, much before I went to the medical school. My father always said that whatever the field you are in, whatever you do, try to do the best and be honest and straight about that. So I always still remember that. Then later in my life, who are the great souls or great people like His Holiness Dalai Lama or Mother Teresa and Bishop Tutu and people like that I spent time with, I absorbed a lot from them, that what is the qualities they have. Like Mother Teresa given me that essence of unconditional giving. That is the essence of what she did. I mentioned that in my book. Or Dalai Lama is talking about the simplicity in life. So there is a lot of such elements helped you. But as a professionally, my success is because be honest, be straight. And it's not only the God's grace that I could deal with a lot of complex medical condition, but the philosophy of Saukya is to improve somebody's health and well-being. So 50% more people coming here without any disease. But how do you deal with it? Yes, I see a lot of places that render aim. When I attended a seminar 25 years ago, a render aim is to generate revenue. I said that's a wrong way of dealing with a suffering human being. If you are dealing with a holiday client, maybe that's a good idea to give more things and then making more money. But I would say that if you are in a wellness space or a healthcare space, it should be need-based. And you can earn enough money by need-based approach. So I will never ever suggest a treatment or something for me to earn money. It is not only applicable to our field, even a big hospitals also, they do unnecessary things to earn money. That is ethically not right. And it's a wrong approach. Why? You do the right thing and you can earn enough and more. That's my own experience. Mm-hmm. So then your honesty, integrity, everything is visible and feelable by the other patient also. They are not stupid. Mm-hmm. They also understand that what you're trying to do. So I learned that be honest, be straight, and do what is the best for the person. That's enough. That'll give you much more rewards in spirit, rewards in finance, rewards in your karma, everywhere. So be that. So that is, I would say, ultimately. So I'll have a moral courage to tell somebody that, like at the moment, I have somebody from Europe with a serious medical condition. They tried everything else. And his treatment is cost a lot. For 30 days stay, it's going to cost about $60,000. And he said, no, can I reduce? I said, none of the treatment is there for me to make money. None of it. It is really needed because they have very complex medical condition. So he said, honestly, I'm doing. So I'm not doing more. So when you change the gear, you have the moral right to say that will transmit into that person in a very clear way. Mm-hmm. I would say that is the biggest. And when I read so many successful people's life, it is one of the basic elements that their success is whether financially or fame or anything because of their honesty and integrity. And I would say hard work, honesty, integrity, there is no substitute.
Mm-hmm. But with all the success that you continue to have, what and who continues to inspire you?
I would say my guests inspire me more than now anybody else, because I spend more time with my guests and when people say, what is your hobby? I said, spending time with you people are my hobby. And everybody's life is unbelievable life. And when they tell the truth to you and you know truly their life, and you can learn from small or big or famous or non-famous people in their life. And I'm still a seeker. I'm not learned everything. Still, I go around and learn from others. And my interaction with you, I learn a lot. My interaction with my guests or patients, I learn a lot. When traveling around the world and interacting and visiting places, I learn. So it's a journey of learning. I would say it will never going to stop. Mm-hmm. So I love that process. Still I go and spend time in other places and traveling and all that. It all help you.
Tell me, what do you think is true that many people might disagree with you about?
Day to day, I face this. Okay, not only the public, even those who come to seek my help too. For example, I try to tell that I am not a vegetarian. Okay, I do eat meat and fish and all that. But I tell them that hardcore non-vegetarian to reduce it. Some of them will disagree with me. They say, no, non-veg food is very healthy. Actually, it's more healthier than, yes, I agree. If you do non-vegetarian food in an appropriate way, it's very healthier. There's no doubt. And even the vegetarian food, I have patients are just coming and they do wrong way by deep fried and unhealthy methodology and overuse of the oils and all sorts of things. So it's a challenge that they try to disagree with you that either reducing meat and meat products and milk products is not a good idea. Some of them have big discussions with me.
Do you, Dr. Issac, do you find that the more successful the patient that you have, the more that they are challenging the recommendation that you are offering to them?
The first 3 days, I have a 3-day rule. After 3 days, all will convert it. This experience will give them the conviction. So I said, okay, wait for 3 days and see what's happening, because I'm not forcing anything on you. This is an experience. I'm not converting you because okay is a vegetarian place. I'm not converting. I'm giving an experience so that when you go back, you'll reduce the excessive intake of meat and non-vegetarian. And I convert a lot of even Middle East people, they eat meat from breakfast to lunch to dinner all the time. And they change their lifestyle. So my success is, I would say, for make them understand what is good for them, not this or that. That way, I'm not a great fan of vegan diet or anything like that. At least depends. If you're diabetic, you know sugar is not good. But if you are not diabetic, yes, reasonable sugar is good. So it depends on your situation. So I'm very much a very practical person. So I don't believe in a one philosophy and implement that. No, it's not for philosophy. It is truly what is suitable for each person. Same way, I would say that convincing people the benefit of integrative medicine or ancient medicine is a big challenge. Because most intelligent, intellectual people, they won't accept it. They say the modern Western medicine is the answer for everything. I would say completely agree that is more for a complex, acute surgical conditions. All the chronic diseases, it is not an answer. It is only helping. I am fully supporting Western medicine. But the ancient medicine, there's Ayurveda, naturopathy, homeopathy, it is all very effective for long-term chronic conditions without any side effects. But leave medical condition, even to health improvement. You can go to the best hospital in the world, give $1 million, they cannot improve your health. But you go to a simple holistic or wellness center, you spend 2 weeks over there, maybe spending only $10,000, your health will get improved. Because when you do cleansing, detoxification, rejuvenation, anti-aging, it will change. So what is more valuable then? It's better to be preventive, health improvement, rejuvenation, anti-aging. It is all true. When you do that, and peace of mind too, that is impossible to buy.
Tell me a little bit about your leadership and the challenges that you encounter as a leader, and particularly when things are not going well. Tell me about the failures that you've learned the most from, because I think we fail to appreciate the failures that successful people go through as part of the process of achieving the success that one may achieve. So what are the failures that you've learned the most from?
The failure, I would say that, one is the COVID time was a very challenging time to keep it going, and no international guests coming over, but we had to run the place, we had to pay salaries. It was a big challenge, and you don't know when it's going to change and how long it is going to take time. That is a major challenging time, but we managed and we never closed. We always have guests. That is great, but it is tough. But before COVID, we started, that is I would say, the recent failure. I thought that South-East International Center is very expensive for Indian standard. So for the mass of India, I should have something. So I made a medium costing or a low costing facility with the same treatment, same medicine, or same oil, same methodology, and trying to help people, and invested good money for setting up a place about in the heart of the city and run it about few years. Then I realized that why then people complaining to me that I'm too expensive, they cannot come to me. Then why in Saukya, why they are not going? My sister concern, which is called Sahaya, means help, why they are not coming? So I thought 3 years, my thumb rule is any business to shop, you need to spend about 1,000 days. So I spent more than 3 years. Then I started re-look into it and realized that, no, it's not happening. Again, I kept it for another 5 years. Not losing money, but at the same time, just managing. And I thought instead of a few people, will be huge number of people coming. Maybe I'm too early to come into that field in that time. That's about 10 years ago. But finally, just by the COVID time, I just closed it. I felt that, why you are trying to do something good, helping more people, it's not working out. Maybe I'm doing a wrong model. Anyway, now I said that after some time, I may redo it not in the city center, maybe outside the city center, just help the people, not looking at the revenue model, looking at helping model. Well, no, we are running other charitable clinics and all that free of charge, that's fine. But somebody to pay and do it in a small scale. But we are expanding to international world, so that may be a different ballgame and different challenge. But you asked me about this challenge or a leadership. I would say that, we have 120 staff, and we have guests from 120, more than 130 countries now. What is that working is that, when you do your hard work and you are very straightforward, and when you are very clear about your focused on your goal, and you are not above criticism, but that's okay. That's a right for people to criticize. That's all right. And if you manage your finance well, that is where a lot of cases where finance is not managed properly, then some difficult situation, for example, like COVID comes or something else, disaster happen, then how you're going to manage? You just collapse because it's difficult. So looking that, maybe I am from India and born and brought up in India, West is much more easier to get finances and all that. We usually go through any business to go through a very difficult time. So there is a say that if we can do business in India and successful, we can be successful anywhere in the world. I believe that that's true because my life in England and everywhere is much more easier. So your challenge is the local situations and local condition, how you are adapting to a local condition. That will be a challenge. But yes, failure, I learned from that failure. I relook into it and see that, yes, it could be the reason. Still, I don't have an answer. What is the reason? Even after talking to a lot of people and everything. So it's still a challenge.
Last question to this insightful interview. If the older and wiser Dr. Issac of today could pass on a few wise words to your younger self, who's at the beginning of his career, what would he say?
I would say don't get discouraged by other people's opinion. Because other people just make an opinion that has no cost. But you go and seek good advice. That's not an opinion. Good advice from knowledgeable people in that field. So, and there is no substitute for hard work. And now when you look back, I say that the amount of time and energy spent on learning and understanding and going and meeting people and do everything. And also financial management is very, very important. That most of the entrepreneurs, they may not know that, then they should get the right advice from the expert in that field to explain to me or explain anyone youngster that what are the challenges they could see, because a lot of situation where you hear only positive stories and positive advice, but there can be a lot of negative side also into it. So you have to understand negative more than the positive to face the challenges in the future. But if you are, as I mentioned earlier, you are straight and integrity is there, and you're honest and you're hardworking and you focus. A lot of people, they start with the focus, then they lose the focus. They have to be, there's a saying in Indian language that in your sleep, while you are eating, when you are taking bath, all the time, your mantra should be about what you're going to do. Then when you keep on doing the mantra, it will materialize in the universe, in the space, then it'll come to you. So you have to have a patience to get that done.
I think there's no better poignant time to end this, what has been a truly insightful, wonderful Influencers in Hospitality. Dr. Issac, really, I appreciate you giving up your valuable time and joining me on Influence in Hospitality. Thank you again.
Thank you. Thank you. Nice, wonderful to talk to you. Thank you.